Welcome to a series of podcasts discussing series of films.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
In a world inundated with prequels, sequels, spin-offs, and reboots, we ask the question,
Do we need one more? I think we do.
I think we don't.
Fate whispers to the warrior,
A storm is coming.
and the warrior whispers back.
I am the storm. Let's go! I'm so psyched.
This is, I'm very excited for this. This
I
is
know.
episode 11. This is Mission Impossible Fallout. I think it's no secret. I think this is our favorite one in the franchise.
I think it's the best one, man.
I think, and not to like get ahead of ourselves, but how crazy is it to have like one really successful one bomb so hard that you almost kill the franchise, and then somehow your best one is your sixth one?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how no other franchise has done that where they're
The sixth one is
the sixth one is regarded as the best one.
It is. I mean, to maybe not jump right into it, but like our background with this movie, this is the first one that we see together.
Yes, and we saw it in
this.
IMAX.
We did see it in IMAX.
We did our little.
We got that little like
cinema
playbill
kiddo thing.
thing
I
they
have it
gave
somewhere.
us.
Oh, I should have grabbed it. It's so cool.
It is so cool.
I forgot. I completely forgot about that.
But I remember watching this and with you and with our friends, and when we came out and we were like, "Holy fucking shit!"
Literally, I still maintain this. I think there's an argument to be made that this is the greatest action movie ever made.
It's in my top 10. My number
It's definitely
one
in top 10.
is, some people may think this is like a basic take, but like I think it's Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh well, that's
Only specifically on the thing of that movie is designed to exist without dialogue and solely based in action.
that is a very compelling thing.
And I find that
All right, let's change the episode. This is the Mad Max Fury Road episode.
but Fallout is in my top 10.
Yeah.
I think specifically too, I don't mean to sound hyperbolic, but legitimately I think of the last 10 years, I think this is one of the best action
This is
movies.
definitely up there. I think it.
At least American action movies.
That is fair. That is very true.
I feel more comfortable making that specific state.
That's good.
Or
I
statement.
just came up with like the boldest claim of all time.
I'm like worried that the internet is going to come at me, but also this movie's good, guys.
This movie's good. It's real good. Yeah. Welcome to the show, guys. We're excited, as
We're
you
really
could probably
excited. I'm
tell.
stoked.
We continue our quest, figuring out whether or not we need more of these.
We've yet to find an impossible mission.
We've yet to. Hey, not that they should rename these, but
They're getting pretty
starting to think they're
yeah.
possible.
It's mission difficult.
Mission
It's-
legendary mode, but
Yeah. Mission,
mission get good.
nail biter, like pretty close. Yeah, I mean this movie, it's also so this is the first Mission Impossible movie we saw together. It's also the first Mission Impossible movie with the director returning.
Yes.
Not-
Never before has this occurred.
Not the first, because Abrams almost
Yes.
came back to do 4,
He almost did.
which is why he produced it.
Yeah, and
and
he's-
has continued to
Yeah,
produce.
he's actually still a producer on these. I don't know if he's a producer on the Dead Reckoning
I guess
era,
we'll find
but
out.
I will find out in an episode or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's still listed as a producer for these ones, and we get Robert Elswit back as cinematographer.
That's
I
right.
don't think we really talked about him too much in the last one, but he did Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, and it looks like he did this one as well.
He's
which
doing
for some reason I thought it was someone else, but
Great job.
Yeah,
Well, I think specifically this movie, like, as we kind of continue to jump into it, like it uses in terms of its lighting, it uses like a lot of like halation and like ambiance.
yeah, every lighting choice in this one's so sick. Like I feel like Rogue Nation it's not like visually like from a cinematography standpoint, like the visuals aren't like crazy, like look at me kind of visuals. It's
sure,
more like
it's not in
it's
your
more
face.
like. And it's incredibly competent.
Yeah, the
it's
movie
really
looks very
excellent work, but
good.
it's not like trying to stand out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like it's more about like letting the stunts speak for themselves and everything else that's being captured versus like the lens choices, the lighting choices, or the texture of the screen and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
whereas this one is like lens flares, like
It's leaning into more of a style, and I think
Yeah.
it certainly succeeds in it.
yeah,
But yeah, I know people. I mean, it's the first one that McQuarrie does. It's the first returning director, and I know people
Yeah.
were kind of not concerned, but it is that thing of like at this point the franchise has kind of established itself as a new
Always
director
getting-
every
yeah.
time.
Mhm.
And I think and I think we had similar not concerns, but just like curiosity of like what is this going to be like with like the first returning director, and being on the other side of it, hindsight 2020
Yeah,
or
the answer to
whatever,
that question is
really
dope as hell.
yeah, really fucking good. I mean, yeah, McQuarrie has now stuck around. He's, and again, we'll see with the Final Reckoning.
He's ostensibly made this his franchise.
He's potentially being the one to make the last one, or
Yeah.
quote unquote last one. We'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll ask that question. That's our
true.
job to decide.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, guys.
Don't you worry.
Kind of our thing. We're 11 episodes deep.
Yeah, we're pretty locked in. But I really think this movie is like it feels like the culmination of everything.
It does. It feels
ways.
like a series finale.
I think so, and I won't. Yeah, we won't jump ahead too much to kind of the do we need one more retrospective.
Yeah.
But it does
Spoiler
feel like
talk for those of you who haven't figured it out by now.
That's right. Yep.
Yep.
We're going right into
happen. And we're jumping right into this. I hope you guys watched it.
Yeah.
Hope you commented in the Discord.
Continue to watch. But this one opens with, one of the very few, like dream hallucinate. Like there's a little bit of that with like Cruz being like sleep deprived in the first one.
Yeah. He's got a little bit. I'm hallucinating, or maybe I'm
Yeah.
just really strung out.
We get like
And this one's just like a full dream sequence.
Yeah.
Where we get Michelle Monaghan returning,
Right.
And then we get the reveal that Sean Harris is like a priest, and that did terrify me if he showed up.
Yeah. Excellent beard.
Excellent beard.
I think it's a great bad guy.
I was gonna say
too.
I had a question here. Where are you at with the beard?
With the beard for Harris.
For Harris, yes.
Oh, I think it's an improvement.
I think it's
I think it makes him look.
It makes it more defined and like scruffier in this one too.
Yeah, I think it totally works. I'm glad that they did, and obviously there's like a narrative reason, right? He's been incarcerated basically, and he
apparently. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no! I just think it's a good look.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say for this first dream sequence though, originally I guess when they wrote it, it was gonna be Hunley, Alec Baldwin was gonna do it, and then they decided. Hey, what if it was Harris and he said some ominous shit and then they changed it to the last second?
I do think it is better that it's Harris.
I think it is better. It's a big taunt.
Well, I also think it's that thing of like the dream sequence then kind of being about Ethan having I'm not insinuating anything legitimately, but like he has this like psychic thing where it's like this movie it's like this guy is back and it's personal basically.
Yeah, and it's like this is ostensibly like his worst fear. And then, like, literally the plot of the movie is like, it's actually happening. The thing that you're actually scared could happen is now happening.
Well, there's a great moment where he says, Harris says a line from, I can't remember what the line is specifically, but when they're with him later in the movie, he says it, and you watch Ethan like react of like, it's coming true, like almost.
Yeah, it's like this was a prophecy.
Yeah, a little bit, and I think that's really cool. They do a great moment in that scene later in the movie where like it then instantly starts to focus on his heartbeat.
Yeah,
and his like basically
when
tension.
he wakes up from this dream though, that like red lens flare effect that they have going, I think they're like sodium vapor lights that they're using a lot in this one looks so good.
And this
I'll take more of that. I always need another sodium vapor lens flare.
I am 100% behind that. Let's make that happen more often, please.
More of that. Can we increase that? Thank you.
But I love like we don't waste time with any of the other movies. We always kind of jump right into it. But maybe it is what we just did at the beginning of this episode, the I Am the Storm thing. Like it really sets you up like strap the fuck in.
Really, and like this one's
we're
like
going.
By the way, we're gonna do this is our Dark Knight, like
a little bit,
like in the best possible way. It's like the only other movie to do like that. Like we're gonna make it a little bit like more serious and more intense. Like not like everyone else basically failed trying to do that, and then like when they're doing it, it's like no, they actually did it.
Yeah. I also love that that the book is the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Pretty,
He's manifesting that Nolan movie.
Yeah. Oh, true. But also it's almost like
Tom Cruise is like, can I play Zeus, please, please, please,
not
please,
even
please.
Tom Cruise has never been in a Nolan
Nope.
movie. God,
Nope.
I'd love for him to do that.
Yeah.
They seem like
Al Pacino returns as Hades.
He's like, I see Oppenheimer.
Nolan was like, yes.
He's like,
There it is. Tokyo Drift's playing in the background.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Roger Cruz.
You're either in the fast lane, you're in the slow lane.
Dude, first or last, man. Hell, I was drunk when I said that.
There's a puma in my back seat.
Oh my god. One day I would love to talk about Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights just hijacked the episode.
Doesn't have a sequel, but maybe we talk about the Farrell McKay movies.
Yeah, we can do that. Why not?
But I just like the Odyssey, not even looking into it like textually, right? But just from the title itself being like, this is basically Ethan's Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like
that's all coming to a head. You got to bring it home.
Really put to the test in this one.
Literally. In every sense of the word. Word, not world. I think for a guy who does a podcast once a week, I'd be better at talking.
It's all right. We'll do some more vocal warm-ups like last week.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Human Torch was denied a bank loan. I think a little Farrell McKay reference.
It's all full circle. We're all here. It's all good.
Yeah, we're making it. We are in the episode currently. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes. Wait, what?
What?
What are you saying to me?
I'm saying we're in the episode.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm like, where am I?
Hey, we are the storm.
We are the storm.
We are the storm.
We are the world.
Oh God. But okay.
This cost us so much money with that joke.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yes.
I think
Dope Boy Fresh.
This is the first. What'd you say?
Dope Boy Fresh.
True. DBP.
Yes. Thank you.
But I think this one specifically, like, where I think it kind of not like perfects, but where it maybe, I don't know, learns or whatever you want to say with this one. We talked about with 4 that the Burj Khalifa sequence kind of hits the peak of the movie, right?
Yeah.
That like the stunts aren't what you're fully coming there for, right? But it is not a small thing at this point.
Yeah, now
and in 5
defines the franchise pretty much.
Yeah, and in 5 we like get it out of the way pretty quickly, and then the water thing is really impressive, but it is kind of like mixed with the CGI, so it feels less. The plane feels more like that's the stunt.
That's the big one, and it's right at the beginning.
And we get a couple in this one.
This has some of the best set pieces
it does
ever, and I think the structure of this makes this like the most like intense watch. Like I mentioned last time that I like SpongeBob filter feed. This one, I literally like what I remember when we saw this in theaters in IMAX. I was white knuckling like the chair. Like I think I was gonna rip it off. Like I was so like
and we'll get to it. Him dangling from the helicopter. I just remember just being completely awestruck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, when it switches to the IMAX ratio, I don't know if
I
did it for you on how
you
you watched it, but I watched it through Paramount Plus.
So did
when
I.
The sequences happen, the bars go away, and you're just like, oh,
dude, it's killer.
This is the greatest looking action movie I've ever seen. Yeah. I think,
and also like kind of going in, kind of like the last one.
There's a lot of good ones. Like I'm not trying to diss other action movies. So please tell us your favorite. I'd love to get to those and talk about those because I love action movies.
I do too.
So,
but I think like the last one we talked about, kind of it having consequences from the previous one, and this one we turned that up to 11. Like it is specifically, it's like the Syndicate, but also like basically like an offset of the Syndicate.
Yeah, it's like fringe Syndicate.
Yeah,
now
you
the
thought
Apostles.
these guys were bad.
You thought these guys are bad. Here's what's left.
Which I have this written. John Lark and the John Lark and the Apostles. Kind of a cool band name.
I was gonna say, you said it's like a band name.
It kind of sounds like a cool band name. It's several times. Maybe we'll try to find cool band names in future movies. But John Lark and the Apostles, pretty strong one to start us out.
In the Syndicate.
And the Syndicate, like there are multiple
the Syndicate
moments.
Just by itself is kind of a cool, like the Clash.
The Syndicate is a great name. I will
you want to
say,
start a band?
I am in support of the
Talk to our
IMF.
producer. We want to start a band.
We got a yes.
We are the syndicate.
But maybe we shouldn't define ourselves.
Oh,
as a
you don't want to be a
syndicate.
rogue terrorist organization? Okay.
Well, you know.
You've made good points.
But no, but yeah, John Lark and the Apostles, they say it a couple times where it's like,
so we're John Lark and the Apostles.
you know,
Yeah.
it makes us Henry Cavill. Or one of us Henry Cavill. We shouldn't specify. We should all just believe that we're Henry Cavill.
We should all just believe that we can lock and load our biceps, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big stunt of this movie, is him going...
Did you do that by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped my pen, did that, and then picked it back up, kept taking notes.
Yeah. You can't not. Improvised by Cavill.
Yeah, on the day.
I maybe bring this up. Cavill, maybe top 3 Mission Impossible villains?
Top 3 Mission... Yeah,
like,
he is.
Really
I think it really kind of
this.
ultimately comes down to him and Lane.
I think him, Lane, and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, it's between those 3, but
you can maybe make an argument for Voight.
Yeah.
Or Kittredge.
Kittredge. Yeah, Kittredge is good, and he comes back. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But Cavill, I don't think Cavill. I think
Cavill's certainly the most formidable one. Just even physically, like he's like, come at me. Like you're just like, can you move this man? He doesn't seem to want to be moved. He looks like Superman.
Well, I mean, you know, this movie has several wonderful inclusions to the cast. Like we talked about some of the people that pop up in 5 that are front. Obviously, Rebecca Ferguson makes her debut.
Boss Baby. We got the Mother Superior.
That's
Dune.
right.
What do they call her in Dune? What's her title?
Well, I know the group is the Bene Gesserit, right?
Yeah. She the queen of the Bene Gesserit, or what did she become?
I can't remember. I feel bad. I feel like I'm learning.
We'll cover Dune eventually on this.
That would be fun. We should.
That would be really fun.
When Messiah comes out, we'll
that.
cover it.
We got Shaun of the Dead. We got
Simon
Marcellus
Pegg?
Wallace. Yeah. Well, they're not like new additions, I guess.
Oh, fair. But no, but like
I was just going through the cast, I guess.
This has Henry Cavill, Angela Bassett, Vanessa Kirby,
Oh,
Wes
yeah,
Bentley.
yeah, yeah. Wes Bentley showed up.
Like-
I completely forgot he was in this too.
He's fun in this.
Yeah.
But like Cavill is really good in this movie.
Cavill is phenomenal, and shout out to the Paramount lawyers for arguing why he needed to keep his mustache.
Look, I love the DC characters. I'm very excited for James Gunn's Superman. All this other stuff. Like, I am glad that we have Fallout. I'm fine that we had the whole mustache. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
the mustache is so good.
if it was shave or not shave.
I've attempted that mustache several times.
You and
not as successfully.
You, me, and the rest of all, of America have all tried that look. I will, Top Gun Maverick really brought the stash back.
Stash is back.
I think Cavill was the
precursor. Cavill walked so that Miles Teller could fly.
He came up with that stash, and I just remember everyone being like, "Whoa, oh my god!"
I did too. I was like,
we all knew he was hot, but damn.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe we touched on it in our Fan Four Stick episode, but I was like, I don't know how I feel about Miles Teller as like a leading man, and then Maverick showed up and he rolled up his rooster, and I was like,
he's great.
That man is handsome as hell.
Damn right. But yeah, I think Cavill makes such a strong, he's a star, like when this movie comes out, like he's already like it's not like he's a nobody, but like he nowhere near. But when he shows up in this movie, I am kind of like, oh, I would love to see you do more of this.
Absolutely.
He
needs to do more
the
villain
fuck
stuff
out of this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we really jump right into it. We jump into, obviously we get the kind of like the last one, we get like the prelude mission that is kind of the inciting incident for the movie.
They have to steal obtain the plutonium.
Yes, 3 plutonium cores.
Yes, which don't know if you know this, but this whole first sequence is actually littered with Back to the Future Easter eggs.
No.
Yeah, first of all,
how did I not
plutonium.
Know this? Sure. Okay. Valid.
The car is remote controlled at one point, like Doc does the RC.
Sick,
and then there was one more. Give me a sec. I took a screenshot of the IMDb trivia. Shout out IMDb for having the trivia. It's gotten me through many times.
Also, the commentaries for these movies are
Commentaries
great.
for these movies are amazing.
We talked about physical media last week. Let's talk about it again. The commentaries for if you're a filmmaker, listen to the Mission Impossible commentaries, specifically at least the ones that I've heard. The Macquarie ones.
The Macquarie with Tom Cruise because they really are like, let's dissect the frog. Let's like nuts and bolts. This is what we did. This is why we did it. We shot this on this day. We came back 9 months later to reshoot something because it was wrong. Like, they're going into so much detail. It's so cool.
The movies themselves are kind of improvised. Like they kind of are navigating.
Yeah.
what the story is and the sequences, or they understand the set pieces, right? They know the stunts they're going to do, and they kind of make the movie around it, which is not something that I'd maybe endorse for like any
Mhm.
other type of movie, but they have this like
Yeah.
secret sauce that makes it work.
Yeah, where they can
And
just like
and if you want to learn about like making films and stuff like that, like
kind of a really great place to find
unbelievable film school.
just for like 2.5 hours. You just get to strap in and just like listen
Yeah.
to how they did it. The other references for the Back to the Future bit is Luther having a bulletproof vest, a la
Oh
Doc
yeah,
Brown,
you're totally right.
and then apparently they actually play a couple notes from Back to the Future's music in it. Lauren Balfe,
How did I
think
miss
Balfe.
this?
I know, right? I didn't even clock it either. I just saw it randomly prepping for this episode, and I was like, I have to bring that up.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so the music on this one's Lauren Balfe, who does an amazing job with the score. I think this
Yeah.
is his first go
Fantastic.
on the score. I forget who does it for. We didn't really touch on it
No.
in Rogue Nation, but
It's not
also
Lauren Balfe.
it's not Lauren Balfe, but also a really killer score. Let me go shout out that guy real quick because he deserves it. And I saw a thing that guy from Rogue Nation was actually McQuarrie's friend from like high school.
Oh, that's so cool.
They got to do it together, and I don't
Way
know
to
why he
go.
wasn't available for this one, but
I mean, obviously, bummer that for that person who didn't return. But yeah, Lauren Balfe, I think
the
great
loss is a
composer.
gain in the fact that it is Lauren Balfe.
Yes,
who's
100%.
phenomenal. It is Joe Kramer,
Good. Hey,
Joe Kramer.
shout out Joe Kramer.
who did other things like Jack Reacher and the Man
Nice.
Who Killed Bigfoot.
Incredible title. A movie I have not seen, but a staggeringly wonderful title.
Yeah,
But so this kind of pre-mission, right? I
Yeah.
mean, this is what Ethan has. We've talked about his characterization, right? As a guy who cares about his friends more than anything else, and this movie kind of rattles with the consequences of that, right? And whether or not
Yeah.
that's something that is not valid, but whether Ethan is, I suppose, foolish, right? Not
yeah.
that the movie isn't thinking that he is, but it's
Yeah.
Ethan having to
But
test.
really, him sort of grappling with that question of, am I doing this correctly?
Because in this mission, right, he has to choose
Yeah.
between either saving the plutonium cores, which
That's
is the
succeeding
mission,
the mission, or letting
saving Luther.
Saving Luther, who gets kidnapped twice in this, or gets held hostage, I think, at 2 different points in this movie.
That's true. And he
Sure.
chooses to
Which, not
save.
to like jump to Dead Reckoning, but when he's like, I'll be back later, like I have to get out of here, I'm like, yeah, no, it's fair, dude.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have a good track record with this. And
He's like, at
the
my
last
age, with these
movie.
knees,
Yeah, I mean, Ving Rhames with love has said that he's like, like I don't move the same way. Like he's like, I'm here, I'm doing my thing, but like I'll do maybe a little running, but that's it. But
yeah, he's like, listen, Leslie, like, could I just sit in a chair and like look at the computer screen, please?
and I'll tell you this, he eats
Good
the
gig.
fuck out of it.
He does.
nails
He's so
it, dude.
good as Luther.
He's so good.
Ving is king.
Ving is
king. We've been saying it every episode.
And I'll keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it. But he chooses to save Luther.
Jesus Luther, which is like the most Ethan Hunt thing, but it's also the thing that makes this entire movie keep going.
Agreed. And then obviously we get to cut. They're like, well, we lost the cores, and this is one of what I think also makes this movie maybe the best of the series, and what makes it so fun is it has the best like switcheroo.
There's
Like
so
all
many
the
like
tricks.
like misdirects.
The
Because it just fades to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, no, like it goes from like, oh, we lost the plutonium. Was that the right move? And then it fades to like, nuclear war has occurred. And you're just like, whoa, what?
Yeah, 3
They
cities
did it?
have been
Like-
bombed.
And then like the guy who like supposedly built it is like, they've like brought him in to try and figure out more. And they're like grilling him. And he thinks that he's like, because he's like a sort of like a Thanos-y, we have to kill everyone to like make
Greater
the
the
world
suffering,
heal.
greater
Yeah.
the peace is what they
Kind
say.
of thing. Yeah, greater the suffering, greater the peace. Religious kind of
Yeah, fanatic
fanatic,
kind of thing.
and doomsday kind of bad guy.
Totally.
But yeah, he wakes up thinking that they were successful too. And yeah, I mean, how much detail we want to go on this?
I mean, I think specifically we can just call out the Wolf Blitzer of it
the
all.
Wolf Blitzer cameo. Yeah,
Wonderful
wonderful.
bit. I think that's so. Did we get him? Like all that stuff is so good. I
Like a
love.
kid in the candy store, Wolf Blitzer.
We've talked about it on previous episodes, and as I was watching this, I couldn't help but hear you like thinking about the like theater kid of it all.
Yeah, the theater kid of like, because like yeah, Ethan's like they're like what if we like read your manifesto on the air, would you give us the code then? And he's like, yes. And then Ethan's just like, let me kill him. He's like, hold me back, hold me back, hold me back, hold me back. And everyone's like, no one's holding you back either.
He at one point he's like, I promise you, no one will ever hear that manifesto read on the air. And I was like, you sly fuck. Like you.
I was gonna say when they do the fade to the quote unquote reveal that maybe the bombs went off, and Ethan's just like what's the word? He's brooding,
yeah, he's brooding,
and I'm like, is he dropping in a character there? Is that him being like, because the guy's asleep still, like he's doing that for no one but himself.
He's realized his moment before. He's getting into character.
Yes.
Right. He's done all of his subtext and everything like that.
He's looked at the action book.
That's
got
right.
2 or 3 of those ready to go.
He's got his intentions, his objective, his super objective.
Yes.
They're just doing more fun.
I'm gonna harass him now.
But yeah, I think that reveal is great, and it totally works.
It totally works.
I remember being
when the walls
theater,
drop, I'm like, oh yeah, we are back.
Shout out to the actor who plays that doctor, because when the walls fall, his look of shock and
his actual
I
body
don't
jerking,
understand what happened, is like it's so authentic. It's so like genuine.
No, it's so genuine and so like shook. It's just, it's so fucking fun.
Yes,
and so mission.
And then we go right into Baldwin. We are reintroduced to Baldwin.
Yes,
right. He talks about being a part.
That actor is Christopher Joner.
Well, hey, you did a great job, man. Yeah, you did a great job.
He was in The Revenant.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
As a man named Murphy. I don't remember any of the character names from that. But
you're telling me he's Murphy.
We need to go back to. I want to watch RoboCop again. Dude. We're gonna have to do RoboCop.
We'll totally do RoboCop.
I watched it for the first time last year.
That
movie rips. It's so cool.
RoboCop's the best, dude. Bitches move. It's a good movie, man.
It's so cool.
But we're introduced to Baldwin. He has a great. Obviously, we set up.
We drive up to the plane. We meet.
We set up that he's the secretary, right, in the last movie.
Yeah.
But it is funny that he says that he made like a lateral move.
Some say a step down.
Yeah, that he's like, listen, I did this just because like you're cool as hell.
He's
basically.
like, hey man, you're rad as hell, but you did just like hand over nuclear devices to people who want to end the world. So like, remember, I took a pay cut for this.
Yeah. It is nice that he says he has that thing of like, you chose the fate of the world and you chose your friend. You see that as a weakness. I see that as your greatest strength.
Yeah. He's like,
I think
please
is really
don't make
cool.
me regret this, please.
Yeah. He's like, love you did it. Don't do it again. Don't like fuck it up again though.
Yeah.
Like save the team, but don't like.
Yeah. They were like, secretary, we lost plutonium, and he was like, nanny poo poo. Ah!
Yeah. And then instantly we're introduced to Cavill and another wonderful addition, Angela Bassett as the new director of the CIA.
Yeah.
Dude,
they need to bring her back. She
comes back in Reckoning.
Is she?
I think so, yeah.
Is she in Reckoning?
Yeah, she comes. Or wait, maybe she's not actually.
I feel like they reference her, but I don't know if she's actually.
I think you're right. I think they do reference her.
There's, I think, room for her to do one more.
I hope she does do one more. I mean, she's a legend. She's such a legend.
I got to do like location sitting for an episode of 911 once, long time ago. I don't get to be on like real sets that often, but for this one, I did get to do it, and it was like their Halloween episode, and Angela Bassett was like on set for a minute, and everyone was like,
"Time stopped."
Time did stop, and she walked in, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah, she's killer, dude."
I wanted to be like, "That's the job," and she's like, "Don't talk to me," and I was like, "I'm sorry."
I'm like, by the way,
she vaporizes me from existence with a single glare.
Oh, she's so good, dude. I mean, she nails that. You use a scalpel. I prefer a hammer.
I know,
and it's also one of them where
literally,
it's like
Walker later literally like takes the laptop and like boom.
Yeah. Well, because Hun is like, "What, did it work?" And he's like, "Yeah, something like that." Like, he's like, "Yeah, just beat the fuck out of him." Didn't need your
truth serum. I got you.
Yeah, physical.
Good old American fists.
Yeah, just said the Brit.
Said the Brit.
What do you think of his American accent?
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good
too.
It's
pretty good. I think it's better with all the love to Cumberbatch, but he just feels like Cumberbatch is doing like it almost feels stereotypical. Like he's doing a really good job, but it's so like, look at me, here I am, kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, I believe chakras, and I feel like Cavill just feels like he's from America.
Cavill is.
And maybe it's like because he's Superman also, it's a little easier to
Yeah,
like
I mean he's
go
like,
into it. So maybe that's just my own biases
fair.
warping it, but
I do think not only does Angela sell the hell, like we're on a
Angela,
first name basis.
first name basis. I was gonna say,
I'm sorry.
She
I'd like to apologize. She deserves her
she
full
was like
name.
ying somewhere in the world.
Yeah, she just appears.
Vaporizes us.
Angela Bassett
Writes the
I'm
podcast out of
I'm
existence.
Deeply, truly sorry. But Angela Bassett
Like,
delivers.
we're really big fans.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just a really huge fan of you. I think she
Undeniable
delivers
screen presence.
true. Well, she delivers the hell out of the scalpel hammer line, and I also think it's such a great way that to instantly define Walker or John Lark as that character. That it's like, we know Cruise to be, maybe he's a little improvisational, but he is he is intending to be precise and just saying scalpel hammer. You're like, great. I know who these characters are. Yeah. I get it. Like that's.
I was gonna say, if you asked me to draw a hammer as a person, I would attempt a Henry Cavill.
I was about
with
to
a
say,
mustache-looking
like,
kind of guy.
Look at the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, tell me that that's not that guy.
I feel like that man could build a house with just his bare hands. Like he looks like he's like dragging trees through like the woods when he's not there. American Dad style,
or whatever.
Yeah, like like in a Commando when like Schwarzenegger's just like dragging the log.
100%.
Okay, they should consider like another Commando movie, but with Cavill in the Schwarzenegger slot. But more of that, please.
We go right into the sky jump, which we talked to, or the halo jump.
The halo jump, which is, I think, a very good sequence.
I think so too.
I feel like you think it suffers from the same problem that the water stunt has.
Yeah, I don't think it's
prior,
I don't think it's bad. I just think,
just that like it's because there's sort of an element of like,
I think
we have to replace it.
I think the thunderstorm is not too much, but I just think like when it I think it's like the water. I don't say it as a negative. I think it's just like with the water stunt, right?
Yeah.
That when we switch to the CG environment, it's just like, I can tell. You know what I mean?
A little bit,
and not saying the CGI is bad. It's just like practical stunts, you can tell, right? And CGI, you can tell. Like they look different, and I don't think one is I don't think CGI is inferior, but I think when he first jumps off the plane and you get that great shot where he comes in, you're like, oh, let's fucking go. And then when there's kind of the tumbling through the clouds, it feels a little like, it doesn't take me out of it, but I'm just kind of like, man, I love our dedication to stunts. So maybe it just, meta wise feels weird when the movies go into CGI because they're so defined by their practical stunts is maybe my thing.
That's fair.
But that's certainly not a negative. I think the
it is funny to
great.
have people like jump out of an actual plane and then have to like slot in Paris underneath them anyway.
Yeah. I will also say,
but you still get like the physics and like the wind of it all.
Yeah.
Like, I guess so. Like it does make it like the sequence work better, I think.
Agreed.
Doing all that extra work, but it is funny to have to like, we trained for 100,000 hours to do blank and blank and blank and blank, and then we did a plate replacement.
Yep. I will also say, like, obviously shout out to Cruise for doing this, and I am not the first person to say this. Shout out to the fucking camera operator.
Yeah, that dude
also
had
has to do this.
A modified red, like duct tape to his head basically, and it was controlled like by like the distance, which I couldn't find an explanation for what that meant. If like he could control it, yeah, like the focus distance was like based on how far the guy was, but I don't know if that means it had like a receiver to Tom Cruise, and then like if he got further away, it knew, like it did like math or something, like it had like a computer or like what. But yeah, apparently they had it really figured out. But it's just like a dude with a camera strapped to his head.
It's so like, again, like
Project Badass style.
It's like you watch it and Cruise is doing it, and I'm not certainly not taking anything away from Tom Cruise, but it's like
I am.
You see, I'm like, Dave, wait.
I wouldn't dare.
He also appears
and parachutes through the wall.
Yeah, it's like Dead Reckoning. Just smashes through the window. But I think when you see Cruise do that stuff, specifically the halo jump, you're like, someone has to capture this, right? Like there are people doing this kind of with him. But I love that. I love that Walker gets, he fucks up, and hey, Cruise is like, you have to listen to me, and he like knocks the tube out of him.
He's like, I'm the coolest man who's ever lived.
Get fucked, I'm Superman. And he jumps out, and then he just
woof,
camera,
and then gets struck by lightning.
Camera pans and Walker's just like just flying and just doing, Ethan's got to save him. I love the little beat that when they finally land, right? That Ethan
He
has
wakes up
to,
somewhere in that sequence being like,
yeah,
yeah,
successful. We did
yeah,
it.
yeah, you
Um,
should have opened up your chute sooner.
I love the little
Like, shut
character
up.
beat of him. Obviously, Cruz gets hooked on the little like spike, I suppose, on the top of the building.
Yeah.
And then he has to remove the parachute, and he like tumbles down.
Yeah.
And you have to. It's like the insult to injury. You know, he had to do this crazy fucking thing, and then he has to like kind of tumble down a hill for a second.
Yeah.
And I think it's stuff like that that makes a character, especially an action character. It's a not to the full degree, I suppose, maybe, but like the John McClane effect that we've talked
Yeah,
about, right?
it's like that Jackie Chan. You
Humanizes.
got to start at the bottom and work your way up in the fight scene kind of
Yeah,
thing.
whenever they get, you know, they like the Jackie Chan thing, right? They slam the door in their hand, they go, oh, you know, they
Yeah.
you know, can they react? That it's stuff like that where you're like, oh, there is, you know, it's humanizing, which I think is really strong. And again, it's that thing of like this is a massive stunt, but it's not the only stunt, and this is where I think it fixes kind of the protocol problem, right?
Yeah,
where
where
like
it's like the big stunt isn't.
if that's what you're coming for, it's not like now
There's
you're
nothing left to look forward to.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like,
no, there's like more insane shit.
you've got some more stuff coming.
Yeah, and like not to like. I guess we'll jump ahead a little bit because there's not really a lot that happens. They kind of do some sneaking
Walk
into
through
the
the
party.
nightclub.
They do the thing. Oh, I was gonna say real quick. Part of their mission is like we have to break in, and we have to assume John Lark's identity. We have to steal his face. And in the demonstration, Tom Cruise scans Henry Cavill's face, who is actually John Lark.
Yeah,
Technically succeeds the mission without knowing.
that's right. He does do that. You know, Henry Cavill's like, oh fuck, shit.
He's like, yeah, like
Yeah.
a mom on Christmas morning.
but we're not going to use my face, right?
Not my face, right? That's just like an example.
That would be a bad idea and incorrect.
Bad idea. I'm not John Lark. And like, we didn't say that. He's like, fuck.
You're John Lark, Ethan. You're John Lark.
You're John Lark. That's the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's him being like, no. But yeah, we get into we kind of move through the nightclub.
We go into it.
we
They
go-
identify a man as John Lark, but it's
Yes.
not. He is a faux John Lark,
Yeah,
but maybe one of the greatest martial artists ever.
This guy, he is unbelievable. I mean, the
Yeah,
bathroom.
his name's Liang Yang, and he is a prolific stunt coordinator and stunt performer. He has been in Marvel movies, Jurassic Park. I think he was in some of the John Wicks, maybe.
I think he's like the linchpin of the bathroom fight.
He's so
Like,
freaking good.
Cavill and Cruz are so good, but when he kicks Cavill, when he like smacks him in the head and kicks him in the chest, I'm like, God.
Multiple throat punches, just spamming that move, just like
Cavill's reaction to the throat punch is a 10 out of fucking
the
10.
disrespect of it too. Like
The
he's
way-
just like they're like get him, and he's like whoa.
Cavill becomes like a squeaky toy. Like his eyes go like out of his head.
No, literally, it's like
There are so many. I mean, the mirror throw is fantastic.
the mirror throw is so fun. Like when he wakes up in the stall and then like kicks them through. Like it's just funny. There's like two parts of this like fight, which is like, okay, we gotta get him, and then whacks him with the computer board.
Love that.
Yeah,
The impact, like the sound design of all the impacts, I think are fantastic.
yeah,
When anyone gets hit or bumped against something, it's so like visceral and like clear.
yeah.
Like every hit is like very identifiable, which I think is really, really strong. I love the new mask printer, by the way.
The news printer is pretty cool. It's like a liquid
case thing. It's kind of fun.
Pretty fucking sweet.
Um,
But yeah, you have like, so they knock him out, but then he wakes back up, and they have like kind of a fun gag where they're like in the stall and guys start harassing them, and they're like, don't come in, don't come in, don't come
They're
in.
literally spies, like in the middle of a mission.
I'm
Like
trying to save the world here, buddy.
this
Save the world.
nightclubs make like any movie like 30% cooler. Like
Oh, yeah.
It's all you do always do that like cliche thing of the people in the bathroom being like, "Oh, what you guys doing a movie over there?" Like, kinda,
You're doing some spy shit.
wait, we're Mission Impossible. I don't know why they're from
James Bond.
like
Yeah.
Queens, but
I think
like,
the actual lecturers are like Romanian or something like that.
I think so. They're French or something. I think I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently none of those guys knew each other, and they improvised most of their like taunting together.
Well, they certainly seem
and I
like
was
a,
like, they
a
should all
best
team up
buds.
for a movie. They're really fun.
Yeah, they've found their own little rat pack.
But like when Faux Lark wakes up and just like boom through the bathroom stall and proceeds to fight some more.
I love Ethan's look where he looks back and he sees that that guy has woken back up and he's like, oh crap. Like,
Yeah, it's just like I will say I think Faux Lark might actually be the best villain because he was like the hardest to kill.
he is such a force.
Ferocious.
Yeah,
Just
he's
like the
absolute
scrappiest guy.
I love this fight. I think it's one of the best of the series.
It's so good. It's
And
just like there's literally like a moment where they're like choking each other out. It's just like a couple of bugs like
with
on
like
the
the
floor.
tie, right? They're
Yeah.
choking him with the tie, which is great. And then, unfortunately, he does make his exit in the movie.
He does make his exit way too early, but honestly, if they didn't kill him now, they would have lost the movie.
You're right.
There's no way this would have been an impossible mission if that guy had survived.
Much better than they are.
They were like, yeah, we had to kill him. We made him too cool.
And it does give us our reintroduction to Ilsa. When Ilsa shows up on screen, I like cheer every time.
I know.
The way it just like the look up and it cuts to her, that close up of her face. Every time I'm like, let's go, man.
I love that they're like, she's like, what are you guys doing here? And he's like, well, we were trying to steal that man's face.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is they say or something like that. Well, I was like, I need a face to scan it.
There's that great bit where now they're all talking, right? What do we do now? The guys come back.
Oh yeah, there's some other guys that come in and they pretend there's a nosebleed.
But then there's the moment where
Tom
they're
Cruise like squares up like, yo, you want some of this?
Oh, we should also note in the plot, right? The John Lark's, or faux John Lark.
Yeah.
His phone is the screen is cracked.
Oh yeah, his phone is cracked. And he has a meeting with the White Widow in like 2 minutes, which is very important, and they don't know if they've met before. So
Cruise decides, and this is a line in a vacuum and that's been used in other movies, but I think is fun here. Is the moment where Cruise is like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go in and be Lark, and Henry Cavill is like, wait, but you don't even know, like, you don't look like that guy, like, we don't even know if that's the real Lark, like, what if she's met them? And he says, well, let's hope that they didn't. And he goes, hope is not a strategy.
I was gonna say,
and she says, you must be new. And it's like, yeah, man, this is the best.
Bro, you haven't seen movies 1 through 5. It's kind of my thing, is gambling on hope.
Cavill, it becomes the guy that we've talked about in all the other movies, that it's the guy who will learn that Ethan Hunt is like no fucking joke.
Yeah, unstoppable. Which they have a moment later when they have to do the heist for Lane. Not to jump ahead, because we'll jump back, so we have to do the White Widow's introduction, stuff like that. But he has a moment where he's like, holy shit, you're the guy that caught him. Do you think John Lark actually knows who caught Solomon Lane? Do you think that's like a genuine, like, he knows that IMF did it, but because of like how it is, do you think he like knows, or she's like, or is he taunting him? Like, do you think like the motivation there is him like fishing for more information, or like to tease him, or like, do you think he genuinely was like, wait, oh my God, you're the same guy?
I think he knows just because of the Michelle Monaghan of it all, right?
True.
That they're setting
the
everything
guardian
up
angel
to
line
like,
later.
Yeah, to
that
like
would make
fuck
the most
with
sense,
him.
yeah.
But
yeah, he's got to be fucking with him, was like what I was thinking. But I was also like,
Cavill
how
sells
interesting
it.
would it? He does sell it. Really
he sells
good.
it.
Guy should be an actor.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing about this. Like
here,
when characters are lying, it's like these are theater kids like lying and acting and being like.
The best acting is a good actor having to pretend to be a bad liar.
I know. But okay, so jumping back, so
we meet Vanessa Kirby.
Hunt has to pretend to be Lark.
Yes. Again, Kirby, another one of the many great inclusions in this,
and it's a reference to first Mission Impossible, to Vanessa Redgrave's Max character.
Yeah, daughter of Max.
Daughter Max, which I think we brought up maybe when we did our first episode a couple weeks ago,
because we brought up that they look so identical.
Oh, you're right, we did. They do. It's such good casting.
It really
and
is.
She's such a good get. Like
Kirby. So again, this is
Invisible
kind of
Woman. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. Hey, I mean, the internet was fan casting her as like Black Canary, Invisible Woman, and all this other stuff. I think she's gonna do a great job.
She's gonna crush it.
She's not in these movies a ton, but I do think she's very fun in them.
Yeah.
They
give her fun stuff to do in these movies.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have like much to do in this one, but she's got like an action sequence, which is fun. She stab a dude in the chest.
It is funny that she like hosts like this whole like dinner party for all these guests, and then 15 minutes later she stabs 3 people in front of them.
Yeah. She's like, don't fuck with me.
But yeah,
nobody fucks with the White Widow.
It is. I also love they play it a couple times, but there's like a secondary theme in this movie, like Lauren Balfe's music. I think it's like dun, 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 like kind of a thing, and it's such a good like the Fallout specific theme. I think they kick
the
into
Fallout
it
theme.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
Not the TV show Fallout.
no, not the TV show Fallout.
By the way, if you guys are here thinking we're talking about the Bastidia game,
yeah,
Fallout.
Fallout.
No.
No.
Sorry.
Um,
Maybe next time though.
yeah,
We love some Wally Goggins.
I do love Walton Goggins. God, that guy rules. He's the best.
I want that career and just be like a weirdo for like 30 years and then suddenly become like a heartthrob.
I would adore to be. I mean, hey, that dude is like shredded,
dude. Yeah.
But yeah, he's
oh damn, we should have done this episode wearing some Wally Goggins goggles.
Walton Goggins goggle glasses. I would love to
say that 3 times fast.
Walton Goggins goggle glasses. Walton Goggins goggle glasses. Walton Goggins goggle glasses.
This is Mission Impossible Fallout.
Theater major.
Theater major.
The
Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. What else you got? Come at me.
I really didn't think I was gonna be.
We're
able
like
to
wizards
do that.
dueling.
Yeah, for real. It's Order of the Phoenix. But no, but I think they haven't referenced that Cruz knew Max, right? Or that
no,
it doesn't
like the
really connection of it all, right? At least
it weirdly doesn't come up. I think he has like a sly like, I know who Max is, like, yeah. But they don't really acknowledge it to my knowledge. They might in Dead Reckoning, but I don't remember.
I don't. We'll find out.
We'll find out
next week. Same bat time, same
next
bat
time
channel.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Damn right. But yeah,
next time on WNOM.
Obviously, so we find out that basically the White Widow
watching Mission Impossible. No.
We find out
Tom
that
Cruise tried to kill himself again.
That crazy bastard. But we find out that the White Widow and John Lark have set up this thing to break Solomon Lane out.
Yes.
And Cruz now has to break out the man that he despises the most.
Yes. Which, to be like clear, Solomon Lane has set up both sides of this exchange, right?
Yes.
Like he's setting up Ethan to get him to basically break out Lane so that he can get both Lane and the plutonium. Where he already has the plutonium, but he's using that to sort of goad Hunt into doing the big heist.
I mean,
is that essentially what's happening here behind the scenes?
Lane wants revenge, and they're doing it. Ethan, and Lark wants to do the greater suffering, graver the peace.
Yeah,
that's his manifesto.
A big old Armageddon.
Yeah, he wants to nuke and basically like infect the water supply and kill a third of
which we haven't figured out yet.
The US
but all
population.
we think they're trying to do is get the plutonium back.
Yeah. Because bad guys having nuclear bombs,
it's a bad thing, right?
Yeah, notoriously very bad thing that we don't.
You don't want unstable people with nuclear keys.
Yeah,
that was what I got from this movie.
Yeah,
that was like my big lesson.
We're talking about the fictional films, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about movies. What are you talking about?
Nothing. But so he has to break him out. I love the again, kind of not dream sequence, but the like we cut to what the mission will be, right? And I love that it's the action and we see Ethan. This movie's what I love about is how it focuses on Ethan not wanting to enact a lot of violence.
Yeah, that he's trying to avoid collateral damage as much as possible.
Yeah, that like when we do
unlike 2 where he's just like driving motorcycles into everything.
Yeah, he's like throwing tire wheels at people's face and stuff.
Kicking guns out of dirt and doing 360 no scopes.
It's not kind of cool as hell, but
it's rad as hell.
But I like that
that's some king shit.
True. I think it.
That's not an endorsement to actually like crash vehicles. Please don't do that, guys.
No, it's not. But I do like that being the dramatic stake, right? And I think when we do that kind of premonition, I love that the score again. Shout out Lauren Balfe, like being very melancholy, and I love the bit of seeing Cruz. He takes the mask off and he has to look at this. Person face to face and all this other stuff. And
really fun sequence, like very different
haunting.
For the Mission Impossible language.
Yeah. And you have to watch Cruz kind of pretend to be right where he's like, I've killed women and children with smallpox or whatever. Like, this doesn't bother me.
It's like funny watching Ethan try to be a bad guy because I don't think he's as good as Tom Cruise actually playing a villain.
No.
This is a good time to talk about Collateral.
Yeah,
this is a great time.
Maybe his best performance.
Probably one of his best. I think he really should. I know he's not doing it, but given that this is like a 30-year-old franchise and his character, like Tom Cruise is in his 60s.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer he should go gray, George Clooney style, because he looks so cool with gray hair.
He does.
And I feel like Ethan Hunt, like with like Silver Fox, would be so sick.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I'm almost 70. Dun 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 dun. Like
when that time
you're just
comes,
like, what the hell?
We'll be even better for it. You know what I mean?
But I know how Hollywood works, is the vanity and all that and
we'll
stuff like
get
that.
there.
And obviously, he's rocked a great look for
Oh, yeah.
all these years.
He
But
looks great.
But like, I'm a big fan of the Silver Fox. I'm just
agree.
saying, Cruz, if you see this, I'm here for it. Do it.
We support it.
We support the Silver Fox.
We here at We Need One More endorse Silver Foxes in film and television.
Yeah.
But
we opened the promo with a George Clooney.
Yeah, it's true. But I think
here for it. Steve Carell did it. He looked great.
He really does.
Rocking them sweaters, man.
Got that salt and pepper. Everything is good stuff.
I hope to God I do that, but I think I'm just gonna lose.
We're just
the front
talking
of my
about
hairline.
all of our guy crushes this episode.
Oh yeah, Walt Goggins, George Clooney,
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill's high on the list. I won't lie.
He's up there. Yeah.
He's. Everyone's like, yeah, we know. that was implied when you started the episode.
Yeah. But I do love, speaking of Cavill, when he's talking to Angela Bassett, when he first starts to frame Ethan as John Lark, that when he's doing it, that he's hyping himself up. He's like, for Lark to do this, he'd have to be incredibly smart and incredibly fucking skilled.
It's like the theater kid thing of like, I don't know who, but a little birdie told me.
And he probably has incredible facial hair, and everybody thinks he's super handsome.
And this guy can probably reload his biceps.
He's really good at, I don't know, math. He's just like, yeah, that guy must be rad as hell.
And he looks really cool with a minigun hanging off the side of a helicopter.
And Angela
with
Bassett
a little detonator
is like,
on his belt.
It's like Ethan, right? He's like,
yeah.
Ethan.
Oh yeah.
Ethan.
Who did you think I was talking about? Who else could I be talking about?
He's hiding his facial hair.
Not Alec Baldwin.
But I love him doing that, being like, yeah, John Lark is cool as fuck. Then we get to the real breakout, right, of Lane.
Yeah.
Ethan obviously not going to do what the White Widow and what they've planned, which is to kill a bunch of people. He's going to do it, the way Ethan wants to do it. And we get, him pushing the truck into the water. That shot of the water as the truck leans and it, Solomon Lane gets like engrossed in that wave of water. One of the best shots in the movie. So fucking cool.
So cool. They're always like, and then like they go for, like the way the water looks on that like that incline is like so rad.
That's practical, right?
It is very practical.
That's
and apparently
the coolest
he was
fucking
like
thing.
When they were doing it, Sean Harris was like, I can only hold my breath for about like
15 seconds. Like
He's like if with the van being upside down, I have maybe. Like, on a good day, I could do like a minute and a half, and if I'm doing this, I'm gonna have to blow water out my nose to not ruin the take. And they're like, "So we have to do this in like what 4.5 seconds?"
It's so. However they managed to pull it off, it's so good. I also remember this in the trailer and being like, "God, this movie's gonna be incredible." And I love when obviously Benji, breaks him out of the car. We have this incredible little like no dialogue bit. Where of the like no signal where they like jam the tracker where they like pull it up and then it's all in this like one shot and it's kind of staged almost like an animated movie, like it's like so like clear and there's no dialogue. I love the thing coming up, it says no signal. I'm like, that's just fun. That's just like it's really fun effective filmmaking. And obviously we go into Cruz doing a motorcycle drive and stuff like
the motorcycle ride through Paris is awesome.
The Arc de Triomphe, like all that stuff.
Arc de Triomphe, and they actually were there. Apparently, they could shoot for like 2 hours in the morning because they're like, we're not shutting down. They're like, what if we just did it for like an hour? And they're like, okay.
Yeah. Well, him like dodging through traffic, all this other, like again, it's that thing of like, you just can't beat this kind of stuff.
It's really hard to, and it looks good.
It really does. It looks so good.
Cool. And it's just, again, it's Tom Cruise, no helmet, just doing more motorcycle shenanigans.
Also, I feel like we didn't talk about it in the last one, but good hair in this.
Great hair in this.
Great hair.
Yes, yeah. I think I really like his one in Rogue Nation, maybe the best. We didn't talk about his hair at all.
No, we didn't, but it might be the best. I think you're right.
I think of the length, I think it's kind of his best haircut.
But I like this one.
But this one is also like, this is the most like spy friendly, I think.
It's similar to one, but it has a little bit more room to
feel a little bit more room to like get like to see the wind blow in his face. But no, what's so cool about that like scene where he's driving against traffic and again in Paris is that like every one of those cars that you see has to be a stunt driver. So like when they filmed, they had 2 hours to capture that entire sequence. So they had to roll in with 40 different vehicles, maybe. I don't know how many vehicles it was, but it was 40 to 80 cars and then do the whole sequence and then leave. Like they had 2 hours to do the whole thing.
That's so cool.
So Shout out to them and the production team for being able to pull that off, because that is so rad.
Yeah, I feel like maybe, yeah. I mean, like you just said, like it's like obviously Tom Cruise is incredible. I love what he's done in terms of like pointing out practical stunt work and making it a priority in these films and stuff like that. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, and he would say this, and he does say this, like it's a whole team. It's production coordinators and stunt coordinators and stunt teams and background actors and all this other stuff that are all working hand in hand. And Cruise might be the one in the center of the frame, and I'm not trying to take credit away from him, but like, like it's movies like these that made me really remember that, and I think are important to remember that like these things are made by teams. You know what I mean? Good movie, bad movie, whatever it is, like these people are, spending 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours a day like working their ass off so that we can sit in an IMAX theater with a fucking cherry Coke slushie and like have a good time. And like that, I think, is the thing that I love about these movies the most. Not just like the characters or the set pieces and stuff like that, but it does feel like, and not saying that other series don't have this, that these people don't feel this way or something like that, that Tom Cruise and this team is the only creative team that thinks about this. But I feel like it's so like audience first.
It really is.
It's
like, what is the experience? Where do they gasp? Like, is everyone following the story correctly? Like,
it's like these movies are very fun to revisit and watch for this fun. And watch at home. And as much as I would love to rewatch them at home, it is that thing of like, it doesn't, watching them in a theater, like watching Mission Impossible Fallout in the theater is a genuinely wonderful experience that I'll never forget.
It's one of the most thrilling like movie going experiences for me. Like I know the audiences, I don't think it's like hypes up like the way Avengers Endgame does, but like for people, but I know for me Fallout was like is like up there for me as like one of those, like this is one of the best like film going experiences I've ever had.
Like watching it with these people, like watching it with a collective of people and everyone sharing that experience. And not to like break for a second to talk about the wonder of the movies, but it is that thing of like, even like a Glass Onion, a movie that was in theaters for like 2 weeks. I was lucky enough that I got to go see it in theaters with Laura, and we saw it in a packed theater. And it was like, it's that movie, obviously.
I really want to see that one in theaters.
It was, dude, it was, when Wake Up Dead Man comes out, like, I want to. We will be seeing it in theaters. Because, like,
we should cover those movies next.
We should. I'd be open to that.
Spoiler, that's not what's happening after Mission Impossible. But
yeah, it's not. But we got something very fun coming up after
some fun stuff coming,
Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, what do we have G-Force.
Yes.
But I mean, these
Josie
movies
and the Pussycats.
Dude, that movie, we should talk about that movie again. That movie's pretty rad.
That movie is.
But these movies are great. Like, I love seeing this was a little thing, but when Ethan is like, when Ethan is talking to Benji and he's like, oh, okay, coming back to you, and Simon Pegg does like the spin with the wheel and turns the boat. I don't know why when that moment and like the score kicks in, I was like, fuck yeah, man, the movie's rule. Yeah.
I like that their budget for these like missions includes like, and we get a speedboat, right? And they're like, how am I gonna get a speedboat, bro? Like, we're Impossible Mission Force. Of course we have a speedboat.
Yeah. We have 1,000 gadgets.
We got sticky gloves and exploding gum. You don't think we can get a speedboat in here?
Hasta lasagna.
Don't get any on ya.
Words to live by.
I have that tattooed right above my ass crack.
Hey, fair enough. Just so you don't forget. You're looking in the mirror.
I forgot once, and that's why it's there now.
Well, yeah. Now you remember to not.
I got some lasagna on me.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah.
But I do want to shout out. I think, again, talking about kind of the emotional center of the movie and Ethan, like what his unwillingness to not save people, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a kind of a janky way to say that, but like when they put Lane in the car, right, and they open the garage door and there's that policewoman and she's sitting there.
Oh, that's such a great scene.
And then
just the tension
Zola's
of like,
men
you were not supposed to be here.
Yeah, like all that surprising. And then Zola, the White Widow's brother, Zola and his men, they come up.
Zola's not there, but it's like a bunch of his cronies. It's like
guys,
it's his bros.
His dudes, his fucking,
It's the
Xbox
same. It's the
group.
Romanian extras from the bathroom.
Exactly.
They're back. They're like,
Like,
oh,
hey,
welcome back,
Yeah.
Mister American man.
Fucking awesome. But
They're looking at Cavill like, not bad.
that whole scene is, I think it's like, again, in that moment where it's like, that's Ethan Hunt.
That's Ethan Hunt.
That's
It's like
the
that's like a
character.
character defining thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like James Bond in the Martini. Ethan saves people. Like
Yeah. Like, and it's not maybe the first, like, the protagonist wants to save innocent people. Like, obviously, every, like, action protagonist is like that, basically. But it is that thing, again, maybe it's Cruise's intensity, I don't know, but that is the core principle of Ethan Hunt. It's like, without that, he's nothing. Like, that is his foundation.
Yep.
And when
I will save everyone and then eat my cake.
and this is something that I clocked is in that scene, that is the first time he fires his gun in this movie.
Is it really?
It's the first time he fires his gun, and it's an hour into the movie.
Damn.
That he fires that gun, and it is only when an innocent bystander is going to be killed.
Just mows down 5 dudes.
He does it like literally Old West, like ba 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 ba, like done.
Quick and the Dead.
And instantly, dude, we're gonna talk about Quick and the Dead. I know there's not a sequel.
I think we've talked about Quick and the Dead like on every series so far.
We definitely talked about it with Spider-Man.
Not every episode, but
Um,
I think it came up with Fantastic Four.
Quick and the Dead. I was talking over Instagram with an actor friend that I was like, dude, Quick and the Dead, what a great fucking movie. But I love, he takes those guys out.
Yep.
It's the first time he fires his gun. We're an hour into this movie. It's 2:26. It's the longest of the series.
It's the longest, yeah.
Previously
it was Ghost Protocol, I think. Yeah.
I think
I saw something that was Ghost Protocol.
I know
and then,
Rogue Nation's 2:11, and the other ones are like around 150 to 2 hours. But he takes those guys out, and then he instantly goes to the woman. He's like, keep pressure on this. He's like reminding her like not to bleed out, how to save her, how to keep her okay, because he has to continue on with his mission. But that doesn't mean that he isn't going to prioritize someone who is injured.
Yeah, actually, I think. Dead Reckoning Part 1 is definitely the longest in the series.
Or yeah, I should say longest so far.
Longest so far, but yeah, I just looked it up. 243 for for Dead Reckoning.
I love Dead Reckoning. We'll get into it next week. I do think you do feel that.
You do feel it.
I don't think you feel it in this movie. I think this movie is really
no. That's why I
well-paced.
think this one makes the argument for like
being the
because
best.
it is length. Like the actual runtime of this is kind of lengthy and sounds intimidating, but when you're watching it, you don't feel it.
No.
And apparently this was like a huge point of contention when they were editing it, was the studio was like, it cannot be that long. And Tom Cruise was like, no, it matters how long it feels. If it feels that long, we're in trouble. I'm going to make sure it doesn't feel that way. And he got his way, and like good on him. Like they did good work with this one.
That that phrase, it doesn't matter how long a movie is, it matters how long it feels, is like a cornerstone of how I view film, and like being someone who wants to be a filmmaker and who's made films. Like it's like
that is tattooed right above
right above Hasta Lasagna.
Yeah.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good that you did
in that order. I have a bunch of more like Memento style ones like under here.
Gotcha.
Like a grocery list. But
are they all relatively Mission Impossible themed?
Yeah.
You have one of like Ving Rhames' hats on your shoulder.
I have one it's Ethan's hand palming the micro disc from the first movie.
That's pretty good. I have Ethan climbing the Burj Khalifa, but it's on my spine.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. It's not a bit. It was
I have a rabbit's
mistake.
foot on my thigh.
No, that's pretty good. But I have on my finger, I have Ethan Hunt, and when I flex it, it looks like he's climbing up the pole. But no, no. Okay, so moving ahead, right?
No,
so
I want to keep talking about these weird tattoos.
Should we just keep riffing
weird
on their
Memento
tattoos?
style. It is not a mouth-based video game.
Oh, that's fucking excellent fucking reference. But no, the car chase I love. Specifically, I love when Ilsa shows up.
Yes.
She starts firing at the glass. When Tom or Ethan, he pulls the bag off of. Well, one, he tells his friends to get the fuck out of the car and get away.
He's like, run.
But he pulls the covering off of Solomon Lane, and I love Sean Harris just being completely still. I don't know if you recognize that, but like he's like Ethan's like fucking doing backflips basically in the car, and Solomon Lane is just like complete. He's not his shoulders aren't moving. He's just completely still, dead faced, not saying a word.
Yeah.
Until Ethan reveals herself, or Ilsa reveals herself.
Oh, okay.
And
I think I
fires.
watched this movie wrong.
But she opens, the visor on the motorcycle helmet, and Ethan pulls away, and he goes, "That was Ilsa." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Strange." It's like such a great way to.
He's got that energy of like, not how I saw any of this going.
Yeah. Huh.
Ethan, you're here much earlier than I thought you would be, and Ilsa's here again. Like that was not on the revenge plan. That was next, frankly.
Yeah, it's such a great way to. It's funny. It's just really.
It's
funny.
really funny because in the most like evil villain way, he's just like, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, just like,
huh. Small world.
Especially like in the last one, it being like him being like, I think fourth dimensionally, I'm 11 steps ahead of you. That for him to just be like, well, that's weird. Like, that's funny.
No, that's really fun. I thought the same thing. I was like, that's so funny.
And then we get into,
but we get a great motorcycle car chase in this one.
Oh yeah,
especially because it's like a no music kind of one, and it's like car engine versus motorcycle sound. Like you can close your eyes and hear who's catching who.
There's a lot of great moments in this movie that are played relatively silently.
Yeah,
like it's a lot of like things happening, and the score, like as the singular kind of audio source, I suppose. Yeah. And they do it a few times, and I love that choice. I think it's so good. I think it adds a lot of like tension. Like
no, it does. It kind of helps it build, and it also is like a fun like, hey, we're gonna do like the Dead Reckoning, the Rogue Nation car chase again, but this time it's in Paris. Like
there is always like everywhere there's some car chase.
Like we have a new BMW. And apparently that car was like next to indestructible. They slammed that thing into so many walls, and it just kept on driving. Apparently.
I can't wait to get into the car chase for next week. I think it's maybe the best one.
The car, yeah.
I think you can make the argument just because of the conceit of the car chase.
That is fair.
I think it's really fun.
That is.
But
good points are being made, Matt.
Thank you. I'm making points.
Keep going.
Baked chips
Mission
are
possible.
Right. Yeah, mission accomplished. I don't know why I went to baked chips. My first thing was to be like,
baked chips are objectively healthier, but not by much.
No, not by much, but
pretty good. Change up everything.
Yeah, you do your thing.
I'm such a hot Cheeto bitch now.
Yeah.
I used to not eat hot Cheetos. And then my girlfriend's like, this is all I eat. Now it's all I eat.
I'm really trying to get into sparkling water. It's not working.
Fair.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah, I'll crack open a sparkling water, and then like within 5 minutes I have an IPA.
Yeah, that's fair. I have one actually that I found recently that
some might say an alcoholic
that I thought was really good. There's a sparkling water that I had that I thought was really good. Dude, that just hit me.
We're gonna breeze right past that one.
It's like, you wanna?
I'm like Frank and Sonny, where he's like gargling the beer.
Fuck it, you're like, or whatever.
Just kind of mashing it.
I'm Mac with the chimichanga, just fucking wheezing in the corner.
I'm like, stop Stop cultivating. Start harvesting.
Start harvesting. I'm fucking solid. Try to push me over, bro. Push me over. You can't do it.
Good shit.
But no, okay. So we move forward. We get, obviously, Solomon Lane gets the great, that was weird. And now we get another wonderful bit where he gets his whole little monologue, the whole, what we talked about a little bit last week.
Like after the car chase ends?
Yeah.
Where they
the fallout of your good intentions.
Yeah, and then he quotes the dream.
Yeah, and that's the bit.
And I'm like, homie, are you like transcending like the spirit realm? Like, what are you, like,
the
astral play?
Theme starts to play.
Yeah, he's like astral projecting in, being like, it's gonna make this revenge so much sweeter if I astral project into his mind and give him a nightmare where my plan goes well.
It certainly works. I also love
that's why he's the best villain, because he's like, I'm really getting inside a guy's head right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But no, all that stuff is great. And then also there's this nice little, like, again, how we test Ethan in that this whole thing with the White Widow, right? That it starts with we need to save the man that you despise.
Yeah.
And then after that, they need to get Ilsa, right? They need to like get her. And so that it's
like part of the deal.
It's that, it becomes part of the deal, that it flips from save the person you despise to bring us the woman that you care for.
Yeah.
Or the person that you care for. And like, I think
he's like, which one? Both are.
Yeah. He's like,
I've only had 2 girlfriends my entire life, and like, they're both here.
And they're like, don't worry, we'll get to the second one.
They're like, what about Dandy Newton? He's like, I didn't. Oh,
we we're in the
he's
midst
like,
of
he's like,
apologizing to her.
she says that doesn't count.
Yeah. She understandably doesn't really want anything to do with this anymore. But yeah, I think that's just a fun like way to flip it, and that it's like
That'd been nuts if Danny Newton showed up in the third act too, and they're like, "I'm here too," and they're like, "Oh,
yeah. I mean, hey, if they were gonna give her
bring us
something
the person
to do,
you love," and Renner's like back.
yeah. So then we get to this wonderful bit where fucking they spell out to Walker, right? Because presumably
Yeah.
they know that he's John Lark at this point.
Yeah, I think they've sort of suspected because like
Because when
Cavill gives Bassett the phone
yeah,
to frame Ethan. Presumably, she tells Alec Baldwin, and Alec Baldwin's like, "Hey, bro, you want to see something really funny?"
yeah, which I guess we forgot because we clocked it in the bathroom fight. When he says, "This is the phone we found on John Lark," they do a wonderful reveal that the screen is not broken, that it's a different phone, and that's kind of the like,
and that's like the tip off that Cavill's maybe not who he says he is,
not the best dude. But I love because when Baldwin shows up, Baldwin's basically already in on it, right? Because they do that whole like show of like Ethan, blah blah blah, you have to fucking chill out, like kind of.
I liked my headcanon is that Hunley, aka Baldwin, was like, "Hey, I think I know who this John Lark guy is." Like, show them everything and was like, "Hey, remember when you guys got me last mission? Like." What if we did that to him though, and I got to be like part of it? Like
he's doing like me, you know, number like, 3, like
no, pick me. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they did because this is maybe I mean, every part's my favorite part of the movie, but this
the whole movie is my favorite part.
Again, watching it in theaters, this whole little scene where they reveal Walker to be the bad guy, like I just remember being so like satisfied, like just be like, "Fuck, this is so good." Because
it's such a great reveal because you like, oh, Benji's gonna double him, we're gonna take him to the thing,
they
you
say
watch
it
him
to him,
they
go, we're gonna swap him, then Benji, they like watch him make the mask and put it on.
They had their like fake feed going, and then like
and the way Cavill, like, I know we've already kind of sung his praises with this performance, but the fucking, you know, she was right, nothing but Halloween, a bunch of grown man wearing. And then that look of like Sean Harris like being like and looking at the screen,
looks at the screen like,
and when they
no, did he figure it out?
The way we're 6
Sean
movies
Harris
in,
playing Benji is really funny.
It's so the way we're 6 movies in, and they're still fucking getting us with that mask thing.
Yeah,
it still works. Like that might be
also. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it might be one of the best mask reveals of the series.
It's probably my personal favorite of the mask reveals, and I was also gonna say. This franchise has made a great recurring gag out of Benji wanting to wear a mask and not getting to.
Yeah.
And with this movie, he's the only one who gets to wear a mask.
Good on
Wolf
him.
Blitzer and Sean Harris.
That's right.
So
well, he's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job.
Because he fools both of those guys pretty fucking well.
He's really good. He's having a lot of fun. But no, that reveal. Also, just like when Cavill thinks he's talking to Solomon Lane, and he's like, "Why did you have to make this so fucking complicated?"
Yeah, he gets the F-bomb.
Literally,
which I don't think there's been one.
There's
in
never
the series
been
up to
one
here.
in the series. This is the first use of that. I don't know if Dead Reckoning has one. I feel like it doesn't. But what a good use of a PG-13 F-bomb.
Oh yeah, when he gets, like I said, like when Rebecca Ferguson shows up, I cheer. When Cavill is outed as the villain, I fucking scream, dude. I'm like, so that's such a highlight.
But also, like
of the
way
movie.
he like tears off the mask too is like so like, oh,
the way the mask like flop, like the little like sound like design of the mask being torn is so good.
And then you got Alec Baldwin being like, "Gotcha."
Yeah, like that whole reversal. Baldwin owns the shit. It's like. It's funny watching Baldwin like have fun being in a spy movie.
Yeah, he even gets to say it. He's like, "I see why you guys like doing this."
Yeah,
he's like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, he's literally like, "Oh, I get the Mission Impossible thing."
We're like, "Yeah, it's fun, right?"
Yeah, which it is a bummer that he does. He unfortunately kicks the bucket. He dies in this.
Yeah.
You know, it's
just so sad.
Again, it's one of those where it's like, you know, Baldwin. Again, notoriously very chill guy.
Yeah.
But within the context of these movies, like he is a good inclusion. He understands the tone very well.
Yeah.
And do
you think his character needed to die in this one though? I feel like he doesn't really have. The way he dies feels like Obi-Wan, like, "Go, Luke, go blow up the Death Star. I'll be with you in spirit and in your mind." But it's like they don't really have that relationship. So I think it's a good death scene, but I'm also just I sort of go like, did the movie need that?
There's part of me that wants
He
to
said
like
declaring this is like the greatest action movie ever.
I'm kind of
I'm like, it's perfect. 100%.
kind of formulating this on the spot, but like
But I guess as long as since we talk narrative runway, I guess with that
well, I think
emotional stakes.
in terms of the dramatic thing of like, is Ethan is his quest to save people at all costs, right? What he did with Luther, all that other
Yeah.
and everything else he's done, like is he running a fool's errand or whatever? I think in the beginning, Baldwin is the guy that says, "This is your greatest strength." Like
Yeah.
this, he endorses Ethan's behavior,
Yeah,
and
I
Cavill,
got you. You have the full support of me.
yeah,
That-
and
that's true,
Cavill
yeah.
as the antagonist takes that person away.
Yeah,
And I think in that respect, I think in order to, if we are, beating down our protagonist, so that way when he has his victory, it feels, even more impactful,
more triumphant.
that it is necessary, I suppose. I think the movie maybe still works without it, and I also think, I don't know if we move right into the chase, right? We move right into the next thing.
The next chase.
So
Great foot chase.
Great foot chase. Him walking through a funeral is nuts.
Yeah.
And I love him being like,
Also, shout out. That's a shitload of extras for what
Yeah.
is essentially a gag.
yeah, it's like the beauty
That's like an
of
expensive
having,
joke.
it very. And I Ethan Hunt being kind of like, I wrote this in here. I said he's a cutie, like him being like,
sorry,
I'm really sorry, like just like very, obviously he should apologize.
My bad.
But like just the way he does it, I'm
trying
like,
to save the world.
I'm like, you little cutie.
couldn't save
you're
that
so
guy.
fun.
My bad.
Yeah, sorry. I wish I could.
Great location.
Acoustics, really strong, really
Yeah.
strong.
He
How's
starts
the
doing
catering?
Rock of Ages in the middle of the.
They're like, what are you having for catering? And they're like, we have lasagna. And he's like, real quick before, and then
Great advice.
Cavill comes in. He's
A
like,
wise man once told me.
I gotta go. And he runs away.
Go fast.
The foot chase is great.
Tom Cruise famously shatters his leg
Yeah,
or ankle.
they're delayed for like months.
Months, like
right?
ostensibly, like almost delays the whole like movie like a year.
Yeah,
Like there was one of the production designers, or maybe it was an editor, someone who was doing some stuff, who was pregnant during this and like conceived the child and then birthed the child because of the delays.
that's crazy. I mean, that shot is great.
I don't think she was the only one. I
Like,
think there were like 2 or 3 kids like from the production team that were born during this movie.
well, again, a
It's
testament.
such a lengthy shooting process.
A testament to Cruise again. Like there are thousands of them, right? But it's like, they use the take that where he broke his foot
Yeah.
in the movie. That it's like when that happens, he knows, he's like, he knows the movie's getting delayed, right? So he's like, I need
The least
to
I can do
finish
is
this
stumble
take.
off
And
this thing.
I
And that
think
shot's awesome too.
it's a
the way he
great
hits
shot.
it. It's so like, oh, and you're like, you feel it, and then you find out later, like, yeah, your leg exploded on that one. Like,
yeah, the slow motion footage of that is
it
crazy.
is. It
dude.
literally like bends all the way back.
Yeah, it bends forward. Like,
Sorry, yeah.
It moves in a way that like
You only see that shit like on a basketball
G.I.
court.
Joes shouldn't move.
I know.
Like-
I have a tattoo on my finger, and it's his foot. When I flex it, it's his leg going the wrong way.
That's fucking awesome. That's great. I think it's so good.
It's so good. I was actually gonna say all the shots of Cavill where he's just like being intimidating and walking away like a
Yeah.
badass were shot pretty much as pickups because they were like, well, Tom broke his leg this morning, so we have to delay everything we were gonna shoot. Quick, we have the location, and so they literally just wandered to a bunch of spots that they had already set up
That's awesome.
for the chase, and they just shot Cavill walking through spaces for the rest of the day, apparently, to not like lose it. And they were just like, well, I don't know where this is going, but we're gonna figure it out later. And so
It works.
That's how they salvaged the day.
I love Tom throwing breaking the glass and the whole I'm jumping out a window thing.
Jumping out a window.
It's-
Great gag.
It's a great gag. It's also funny too, again, in the context where it's like, dude, you have done like so many crazier things. You hit that fall pretty easy. Like when you jump out that window, like but the Benji thing of him like hitting it in 3D and he's like, oh, sorry, 2D. Yeah, okay, I
Benji
get
is
it.
hilarious on that iPad, just being like, my bad, I got it upside down, bro.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Sorry. Oh, I had it was in 2D. I didn't know it was a feature. Apparently, that was also like gags Simon Pegg was just like doing on the day.
That's
like
funny.
that wasn't in it. Like, but they didn't, because they didn't know the like logistics. They were like, could you just like improvise some things that like would, I don't know, like what would get in your way? And he was just like, I got it the wrong way. Like, just
That's
sort of being
funny.
like hilarious.
He's so good with that. I mean, he says behind the scenes when they were doing the car chase that like Cavill was running beside them and as they were doing the car chase,
Oh yeah.
Simon Pegg was like out the window being like, wah, 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 like doing the Superman theme.
Yeah, that's really funny.
But yeah, I think that's great. I love when Cruise eventually catches up with
now Lark.
Henry Cavill, now Lark, and he
AKA
makes
Clark Kent,
all this
AKA
effort.
Superman.
Yes, Lark Kent.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just realized that. But he's underneath the elevator, and it's all this effort. You got to catch up to him, and he's Henry Cavill just looking down at him.
Yeah,
and
I know. When he grabs the elevator and it's just going up, and it's just like the way he's got his hands on his hips,
yeah, like a disappointed dad.
Yeah, he's like, really?
And the way when he drops that photo of Michelle Monaghan, the way
such a good reveal.
He says, "Know when you're beat," like it feels like a gunshot. Like it's like so like.
It's a good mic drop, dude. Was like, yeah, I won.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hang there and you think about that.
Yeah, you can run fast, but you're running out of time.
As fast as you can run, you can't reload your biceps.
Nope.
That's the one thing that was missing from that was like, know when you're beat.
I also, and this happens right after this, right? Rebecca Ferguson and Ving Rhames have a great scene where we fill in the gaps between 3 and 4.
Yeah,
which
just
is
the why they had to do what they did more. Like, I think that's kind of what's the coolest thing about this movie is it's sort of like because the first 4 movies are so disconnected up until Ghost Protocol, the very end. It's like
we get to kind of weave them together.
Yeah, but there's this sort of this unresolved, not trauma, but like Ethan's got these things that he hasn't really discussed or seen through or really worked out. He kind of just had to just live with all this unresolved conflict. And in this movie, he really gets to go through with everyone and be like, I love you, I love you, I love you. It's just it's just kind of really beautiful.
Well, even obviously she can't walk away, right? Because of what she needs to do, and she needs to get
Ilsa right now, right?
Ilsa, yeah. She needs to get these things because she needs to exonerate herself in a way. But that great scene with Ving where he's like, I've only seen Ethan care about 2 women in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, one of them, it didn't work out. And he's like,
everyone's like, Thandie Newton? We're like, no, not Thandie Newton.
No, she doesn't want anything to do with these movies anymore.
It didn't end well, but.
And, but him being as if you care about him, this is a man who carries the fucking weight of the universe on his shoulders. You need to walk away. The way he says that is so just the way he pleads, just please. And obviously she can't, and she has every she does need to do that. It's not like she's acting against Ethan by doing what she needs to do, right? What she needs to accomplish. But I just love that little scene and giving it to Ving Rhames because he's been around
so good
since the first one.
He's basically Tom Cruise's brother in this movie.
They are
that's
brothers.
My bro. You don't.
Yeah, listen, what he says something where it's he worries so much it's only gonna worry him more. I just beg you as his friend, just help him.
Yeah. And then she's like, I'm in, and you're like,
yeah. And obviously Cruise gives that nod where she's like, I'm coming with you or whatever, and he kind of gives that kind of nod where it's he knows that she needs to. Huh?
Good thing she did.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah. Well, it's
several more people would have died.
She should be there. She needs to be there.
She needs to be there.
And it's that thing of, unfortunately, Fallout being this dual title, right? Of the fallout of nuclear fallout, but also
the fallout of Ethan's choices.
Yeah, of his good intentions. Right?
I think it's also him falling out of helicopter, him falling out of building.
Yes.
Him falling out of plane.
And now from
a lot of falling in this one.
A lot of falling. A lot of levels, which I enjoy. I love to play with levels. But then
not as much as Benji in Rogue Nation, am I right?
Hey,
smacking.
That's true.
Computer.
We're going up and down. It's an elevator. It's good times. We're having good
times. Henry Cavill's going up levels.
He's going up some levels.
I don't know where else to go with this bit.
His levels of my man crushes is what he's going. He's going number 1. Okay. But I think obviously now we move
Walter
kind of
Goggins
into the final.
Walter Goggins goggles.
Yeah, fucking.
he's like, I saw.
I don't remember who was saying it, but they were talking to him, and it was isn't it crazy that you put on the makeup of a man who's been irradiated by nuclear war, and people were that guy's hot as fuck. It's everyone has a crush on the
yeah, I scared myself awake a couple times wearing that shit.
I mean, we're all right. He's super hot in that
No,
show.
it's the confidence. Remember, confidence is super important.
Yes.
Confidence is objectively more important than actual looks.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Henry Cavill's like, what if I have both? And we're like, we're not talking about you, sweetheart.
It's like, listen, okay, hey, listen. Like, you don't get to be a part of this right now.
I'm like Tom Cruise in the first movie. I'm like, we're all dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear me?
The bombs in this movie are objectively really funny in the way that they work. That it's like,
in what way? What do you mean?
in the way of like,
there's a fuse
of how like
airtight
that they are.
Yeah.
That it's like if you try to stop one, it blows up both of them. You have to do them at the same time, but you can't do that at the same time because once the countdown starts, it can't be stopped. And like all this other stuff, like they just like rattle off like
everything. It's like this bomb was almost designed for this team.
Yeah.
Just to say fuck you.
And then they're like, well, there's a failsafe, and it's like, what's the failsafe? It's like, well, if you just pull the key out. It's like, well, I guess
well,
yeah,
you have to
that
pull
would
the key out and then cut the wires simultaneously.
Yes, true.
And the finale of the movie is like, no one knows if anyone's in the right spot.
Yes, which is, I mean, that's the best way to create those stakes, right? Is
Such
that it's
great
like,
stakes.
This is a team that works together, and you need to cut off the communication with them, right? And it becomes chance.
Yeah.
Which I think is so great. And
yeah.
I know
this whole finale of the movie is awesome. It's one of the best finales in the series.
When Ethan being like, I don't understand why they did it like this. Why is it a hospital? Why is it blah 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 blah?
Yeah. Why
and
here? Why this?
And
they're like, oh, well, here it'll
Julia.
irradiate. Yeah.
And it's like, oh fuck, that's why.
He's like, oh,
that's why they to me
bitch.
like they're going at me. When
you hear like Ethan, he's like, oh, like you can see the spine, like the chill go up his back, like just like, oh no.
And then I love her realization that like if he's here, there's
so much danger happening right now that I did not wake up to.
Well, it's like when she's like, he's here on vacation. He's like, no, I'm working. Like,
you're like, please make me feel better about this.
And it's such a great moment where he's like, where Wes Bentley is like, all right, great, we'll catch up with you in the car, and he walks away.
Just like some like Jimmy Stewart, like, oh, hot dog.
And Cruz just leans into Michelle Monaghan the way he just goes, I'm so sorry. Like he's just
I
like,
know it's so like
fucking sorry.
Oh, my poor baby, my Sheila.
It really, and then obviously we get the great bit of in the trailer, high key, like one of the top moments in the trailer of, what the hell is he doing? I find it best not to look.
So good.
Kind of how the whole series.
And then he like hauls ass the helicopter, and the aspect ratio is like, welcome to IMAX.
And it's just like kind of like music starts to play as he rockets towards it.
It's so, dude, when he starts climbing that thing and then he falls, which was like
drops.
Yeah, which was like planned, but
God.
not the way that they meant to do it. Like he was supposed to fall but slide, and he actually screwed up and like fell backwards. And it's like,
oh, dude.
It's just like, that is so, like, apparently on the day, like everyone's like on the ground floor, like watching Tom do that stunt. And when he did the fall, they went, ah!
I can't get over
they were
it.
like,
Every
we
time
just
he
killed
drops.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. And then Tom Cruise is underneath the end and the music plays in real life.
No.
Everyone realizes
they had a full like 50-piece orchestra. The New York Philharmonic was flown to New Zealand, and they're just down there like
everyone realizes
doing it, like,
that the Venn diagram of Ethan Hunt and Tom Cruise is a circle. That it's one guy.
It's more like a portrait.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really a Venn diagram.
I do
also,
love.
Fun fact, but I didn't get to say this because we did talk about the music briefly. But this is just like a fun fact for the orchestra. I didn't mean to set this up, but I see my window. I'm taking it. Like Cyclops.
I know what you're about to say.
Maybe. No. So is it Laszlo Schifrin who did the original theme for the TV show?
Oh, okay. No,
or
I don't know what you're about to say,
It was
but yes.
Laszlo. Should know. It pops up at the beginning of every movie. But okay, but the bongos, the brrrr, dun. In this one, it is played by like his nephew or his grandson or something like that.
Cool.
The guy who's in the orchestra playing it is like related to the original
legacy,
guy. Yeah, it's like really pulling out all the stops there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'll have to look it up now.
Yeah, no, you're good. I did want to say I love Michelle Monaghan coming back. I also love her being involved with the defusal of the bomb.
I do too. It's like this movie like retroactively makes her character much more interesting.
Also, like she kills 2 people in 3. She's
got a kill count.
3. I think we maybe said this, that it's like 3 feels like maybe she's gonna join the IM. You know what I mean? Like it's like maybe Ethan she'll be a part of it. I don't know, but like I do love Ving's line when she shows up, and they're like, what? Julia's here. Like, she needs to get out of here. Ving so earnestly, he goes, where is she gonna go? Like that. And it's
Well,
like,
they say that like everyone just keeps being like, we got to evacuate these people, and they're like, there is not enough time
we
to
have
get away
to
from this.
succeed.
We either succeed or we all die. That is it. The stakes have never been this high.
Yeah, it's just,
and it's so good. And then the way she's just like, what can I do? And like, it's because Luther's just like, man, they're like tripwires and shit, man. Like,
yeah,
I don't like, I need more hands. And she's just like, hey, man,
I can help. Like,
need help, buddy?
it's so good. Also, the helicopter chase.
The helicopter chase is stunning.
Unbelievable. I love the bit
stunning
where Cruz is like, he goes, how do I gonna drop this payload? He looks at the other helicopter and he says, power, and he flies the helicopter
he just
up,
wills it higher,
and I was like, dude,
just a little higher,
just a little higher. It's so
good
fucking
Star Wars
good.
reference. And then he's like, what does he say when he drops it too? He's like, suck it, or
he says something to it. Get fucked. Yeah.
He's like, I'm the best.
Yeah, he's mustache gate, and he just drops it.
He's like, release the Snyder cut. Boom.
He goes right up to the helicopter, right up to Kaplan. He goes, do you bleed? You will. But yeah, all that stuff is great. I should say, I'm very anti-gun in my real life. Cavill with a minigun, it's pretty cool.
The rule of cool has been acknowledged.
Yeah, it's pretty
not like
good.
the whole movie hasn't been acknowledging it, but him specifically, I need more of that. Like, if we can find a way to squirrel him into a G.I. Joe movie, I don't even know what that means, but like, I just need to see him doing cool guy shit.
I also love that we do the like, what's he doing? I find it best not to look. We do a version of that again where Julia and Ving are talking and she's like, so like, how has Ethan been? And he goes, same old Ethan. And it's him like, flying a helicopter as he's getting shot at.
Doing playing chicken with a helicopter.
Yeah, like it's just like doing the craziest fucking thing you could think of.
It's almost like he like looks at the camera like Wile E. Coyote, like, I know.
Yeah. And I love, obviously we split Julia and Luther up. Ethan is fighting fucking John Lark.
Yeah, and then we have Benji and Ilsa versus Lane,
which is a great fight.
It's so freaking scary the way that guy's just like ripping through walls and like I'm like the minute he did that I went, yeah, he's probably the best villain.
Well, what's cool is again kind of like what you said I think in last week's episode that he kind of becomes. They improve on him in this. Not that he's necessarily bad in 5, but like we never see him in any combat. Like he never does any hand-to-hand stuff.
He just stands and monologues. And in this one, he's just like ripping through.
Dark Knight Returns through the wall, like fucking does like the craziest shit.
Yeah.
I love when he like kicks Simon Pegg in the head. Like not
he's
that I
like
love seeing that happen to Simon Pegg.
Like
but
I'm just like, I mean, shout out to Sean Harris. He looks good doing some of these stunts.
He owns it.
Dude
totally
should be doing more of that because he is objectively so sick when he's doing that.
Yeah.
And then like. One of my favorite like clutch saves is when he's like when Benji's being like hung and then Ilsa like kick flips the box under him,
catches him with his feet and all that stuff.
I'm like, god damn, like
yeah, it's so good. And I love obviously the helicopters are going, they crash, right?
Yeah.
I love the helicopters in the little crevice of the rocks.
Yeah.
That they obviously
it's like a precursor to the train sequence almost.
A little bit. Well, it's also like again,
he just like jumps from one helicopter to the other, like
it's like levels, right? Again, we're playing with like with the levels. I love the staging of it. Obviously, Cavill gets burned with like hot motor oil.
They went like full Bond villain with him in this one.
He goes full Two-Face. I wrote Superman goes full Two-Face in my notes. But yeah, I mean, and that one-on-one fight with them, I think, is great. The score-wise, you talk about the bongos, right? It's solo bongos, which is great.
It's that thing of like this is like a thought they had during X-Men First Class, where the original finale of that was supposed to be like mind powers versus magnetic powers and da-da-da-da-da. And then Matthew Vaughn was just like, sometimes it should just be two guys just trying to punch each other.
Beating the shit out
just
of each
wrestling
other.
Each other to the dirt. And it's like, that's what this movie is. It's like, all right, no more guns, no more helicopters, no more knives, no more face masks. It's just you and me, bro.
You and me.
You King see King. Let's go.
I also, again, talking about everything, tying everything together, right? This movie kind of being almost like a culmination. Again, we've made some jokes about Mission Impossible 2, but we even bring back his fucking free climbing.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to use, like...
remember where I learned that skill?
Yeah, he, like,
dude's like Arkham Knight Batman, where he's just like, all the gadgets I've used, I need to use to beat the Joker now.
Yeah, for real.
You need to figure out how to use every one of the tools.
And I just love that, like, he like the whole thing with the hook and also Cavill does get one of the best villain deaths in the series.
Easily.
It's such a good death. It's
such a good
brutal as shit.
It's just like it's like that like the epicness of like just two guys on a sheer cliff with a helicopter that they crashed like dueling over a remote.
Apparently it was like hell to get everybody up there to shoot that.
It would take like forever, and then there's like, hey, there's a blizzard, so you have 20 minutes.
But again, it's that thing of like, it feels real. You can tell that production value, like for lack of a better term, right?
Dude, when he flips him over and they basically go off the cliff together, it's like, oh!
Yeah, literally jaw drops. Speaking of jaw drops, that bomb fake out.
Yeah, the cut to white is diabolical.
Again, talking about us seeing it in theaters. When they're like, oh, like it's a second we'll never get back, and da-da-da-da-da. They're like, let's just hope you get it, Ethan. I hope you can hear me, blah, blah, and it cuts. And when it gets to the white, I remember both of us going, like, just fully gasping and being like, oh my God, they
and then
fucking
it's like,
lost.
And McQuarrie's like, nah, babes, this is sunset. And we're like, what?
Well, because also when the movie came out, there wasn't hey, by the way, they're doing 7 and 8.
We haven't, 7 wasn't
we didn't know
announced.
that
It was sort of like, this might be his final outing.
And yeah, I mean, that moment is like, every time I watch it, I'm always like, fuck, dude, that's so good.
It's so good. It's such a good reveal.
And he like spits the key out.
Yeah, and he's like hanging there like, yeah. And I like even at the very end when Benji's like, hey, still like, how close were we? And he's like, the usual. And they were like, oh.
It's like that bad, huh?
They're like, oh.
Luther says, my man. I don't know how I feel about that. I also think, maybe it's not a slight towards Justice League, is it? Like,
in what way? Like
my man.
My man.
And then he also goes, my man. Like I know it's not like a phrase coined by the Justice League. I don't think it is, but I just think given the context of that whole situation, it is funny that like
I feel like
that's
it's
in both
of
the
Ving
movies.
Rhames and Jason Momoa just both personally say that a lot.
I mean,
and they both their characters do it. They do. They both say those lines great. I think it's just like a them thing. I don't think it's a shot at Justice League.
No, I don't think. I say that. I don't think it is. I don't. I just think it's funny.
You stirring up some drama,
I'm stirring
Matt.
the pot. I'm being a little, fucking
a little stinker.
I'm being a fucker. But I love that. I love when Ethan's in the bed and Wes Bentley he says like, oh, your friends helped you out.
He's like, wink, wink. What the hell are you?
Yeah, he's like, you're not a doctor. You fucking don't fuck with me anymore.
Like, I'm a doctor.
I created the Hunger Games. All right, watch yourself.
It's like my facial hair just grew back.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have the weird swirly beard anymore.
Yeah, he should have had the swirly beard.
That would be cool. I always think he does. I don't know why.
It feels like he naturally.
It feels like he just has it, right?
Yeah. No, he naturally has that like weird ghost thing he does in Ghost Rider.
Yeah, where he's a demon.
yeah.
But when he says your friends, and the way Cruz goes, my friends, like it's so genuine.
Like, oh shit! Please tell me they're alive.
Yeah, like it's like, dude, he's won. Like he's saved the people that he cares about. Yeah. It's so good.
And then he gets like a nice he gets to actually say goodbye to Michelle Monaghan. And the fact that he's just like, I just like every time we were there, I'm really sorry. And she's like, don't. Like every time I know you're not with me, it means you're out there saving the world. Like I feel safer knowing you're out there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, oh, Michelle. Like I was going to start crying.
And Angela Bassett gets to join the club of people who realize that Ethan is the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just wraps up so. It's the best one, man. I really think it's the best one.
It's the best one, and she gets like she literally gets like the closing like almost like Optimus Prime kind of speech.
A little bit.
We're one Lincoln Park away.
If this movie ended with fucking what I've done, I would love it and hate it.
He's like, don't make me laugh. My ribs hurt.
Which different story as we wrap up this episode and wrap up the movie. I mean, I do want to say real quick, different movie, Sunshine, a movie we both love. Talk about needle drops. Did you ever hear about what the needle drop was going to be for the end of that movie?
Yes, what was it?
It was Fix You. And apparently Danny Boyle saw it and was like, oh yeah, I can't do this.
No, not that.
Yeah, this is too much. Even at that time, like of the year it came out, he was like, or not the year it came out, but like, it was like pretty. He was like,
good move.
Yeah, good move.
Good move.
Sunshine is a good movie. People should watch that movie.
Sunshine is a great
movie's
movie.
underrated.
Underrated as hell. But yeah, I think that's more or less Mission Impossible Fallout. Hopefully you guys were watching along with us on that one. But
to answer real quick before we go into obviously what will be the subsequent film, Dead Reckoning. No longer part 1, just Dead
No longer
Reckoning.
part 1, just a regular whole
Post
part.
Fallout.
All the parts.
Do you think we need one more?
I absolutely need one more.
This is where I
needed one more then. I need it now.
This is where I get conflicted, where I'm like,
But
just because it's so good,
it's
I'm
so
like,
good.
I want another one.
I will say, I actually did like debate like how I was going to answer this question a little bit. They do this one so good. I'm like, I need one more.
Yeah.
But that thing of like, if they hadn't, and this was the last one,
full ride off into the sunset,
100%.
Yeah.
Game complete. Like if it had been, I would have been fine if this was the last one and I didn't get another one. So it's
agree.
like, I guess I don't need one more, but
I think it's that thing of like narratively, yeah, you could tie this off and this is the end.
It is because
right?
yeah, like we said, like all of the fallout of Ethan's consequences are wrapped up in this one.
Yeah.
This is the end of not just this one trilogy, but of like the 6 movies that have come out. It has like a definitive ending.
Yeah.
So like there really isn't a need to do one more after this.
No.
Obviously we know.
Thank God we did.
Thank God we did, because that one still slaps.
Yeah. It is that thing of like, but it's also like they had story to tell. They wanted to do another one. They had story to tell,
yeah. They thought they needed one more for sure. So, yeah. But yeah, no, that is the thing. This one is like, it is that like the greed in me is like, one more.
Please more. Yeah.
More, please. But it's like, technically speaking though, no, I don't need one more. This was so perfect. I actually don't want
satisfied.
I'm so satiated.
Yeah.
So real, excited in the best way. Like, yeah, but, and I'm assuming you're similar about on that
similar
one?
boat. That's where I stand. Yeah, where I'm like, I'm glad we got more, but I also think I don't want to say not necessary because it's not that, but it's just like
but you A plus legendary complete like this game.
If they said this, if I had gone to this movie, they're like, our goal was to make the final Mission Impossible movie, I could watch that and be like, yeah, this is the last one. That makes sense.
I would not be sad at all.
But glad we got more and excited to talk about more. We have
excited to talk about
2 more. We have Dead Reckoning, and then what comes out this year,
Final Reckoning.
The Final Reckoning, and we'll see. And obviously, we want people to watch along with us.
Please be watching.
Let
along
us
with
know
this,
what
guys.
you think.
Let us know if you thought this movie ruled.
Now we get.
That's all I'm expecting to see. Is just comments that this movie rules.
That's right. And next week we talk about AI. Sick, dude.
AI is the bad guy.
It is a little funny meta-wise that
it is meta-wise.
Cruise's big villain is artificial intelligence.
Yeah, they're like the thing on Grammarly. We're like, no, not that.
Yeah, we're like, what? No. Yeah.
No, I'm very excited for next week. So, remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and join the Discord. Yeah. Be sure to be watching with us. We want to know what you guys think, guys. So be sure to leave your thoughts.
Any final thoughts on Fallout?
Nah, man, this movie rules.
Yeah.
I've already said that, though.
All right.
It'd be a broken record player.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to We Need One More.
Be sure to follow us on socials like TikTok and Instagram at WNOM Podcast to stay up to date on upcoming episodes.
And feel free to join our Discord community where you can share your thoughts on the movies we're watching together. That's going to be at WNOM Podcast server with a link in the bio.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the show and to let us know that you need one more.
We'll see you next week. This podcast is produced by Pilot 9 and 9 Ball Creative.